Yeah.
Okay, so just got back from seeing Sing in the theaters. Uh, if you're not familiar with the premise, it's like American Idol with anthropomorphic animals, which is at once one of those ideas which is like incredibly stupid, but like also kind of brilliant, like in terms of like a marketing idea, because like everybody loves these kind of cute anthropomorphic animal movies we've been getting a lot of lately, and everybody loves American Idol. Everyone has a sort of fascination with these singing competition shows. I mean, like, I'll admit it, I've watched them. I don't know if I'd say I love them, but they're addictive in their own way. They kind of pull you in with the human drama of it. They combine, like, the human drama element with the music, and everyone loves human drama and everyone loves music, so it's been, like, really successful. So, like, from a marketing standpoint, I guess it's a brilliant premise. You're combining two things that are popular to make something that's hopefully even more popular, hopefully from their point of view. It is kind of like a really cheesy, corny premise, but I went to it in part because the girlfriend wanted to, and I owed her after seeing Rogue One in theaters, which she did not understand at all, but she went with me anyways. And also, like, I read a couple reviews that said, actually, it's not that bad. Like, the story hits the beats that it needed to hit, and it's all right. So I went to it, and it's not that bad. The story hits the beats that it needs to hit. It's like, it wasn't boring. And like, that's the worst thing ever when a movie is boring. So if it can hold your attention for the whole time, then that's saying something. And it held my attention for the whole time. It was kind of fast-paced enough. It was juggling a lot of characters, but they all had like an arc and a resolution, even though the resolution was exactly the same for all of them. It was learning to sing well and performing a song and earning everyone's love by singing. But like you had all these characters, and they had their emotional needs, and all these emotional needs went through this arc, and it was fast paced enough, and the story hit all the beats it needed to hit. My major complaint story wise, I've got complaints thematic wise, but like story wise or kind of production values wise, it just was not funny at all. And like, you expect like a cartoon like this to be funny. I mean, that's why you go to these things, right? And I think we've been spoiled by a number of really like funny cartoons like Pixar and stuff in the past. And it was just awful. The jokes, like there was a lizard who had a glass eye, and the glass eye would never focus, and she was a bit scatterbrained, and that was the joke. Or like there was a scene where like there was a yak who was really nervous, so he farted a lot during the audition, and that was a joke. It was just awful, the humor in this, which is a shame because it had a lot of really kind of talented people doing the voice actors. Right? Like Nick Offerman was in it, John C. Reilly was in it, Seth MacFarlane was in it. I mean, you can look this up on IMDb. It's just a laundry list of kind of famous names of like funny people who could have been a lot funnier if the writers had put any thought at all into the jokes. It was awful, really, the jokes. I was watching it, like, is this all there is, really? But like, it kept my attention. So yeah, that's an issue I've got with it, kind of from a production value. From a theme point standpoint, I don't entirely like these movies where your whole kind of worth as a person is based on your ability to perform a song well, or to dance well, or like whatever kind of movie it is. I think it's in danger of, I mean, like, it's sending a message to follow your dreams, and like, that's a good message. But but it's in danger of sending this message that your value as a person depends on your ability to sing this song well, and that's the wrong message to be sending. There should be sending the message that you have inherent value as a person, and then you take that value, and then you know, pursuing your dreams is great, but your value as a person does not depend on your ability to get those dreams or not. I think shows like American Idol have been guilty of this to a degree, where like, I mean, like, I understand it's a competition, but like, if you watch a show, it's funny, like the judges, if somebody sings terribly, they just take out the knives and they rip them to shreds. But you know, it's a competition. And if somebody sings good, then the judges all of a sudden are just praising what a wonderful person they are. That, you know, they're not saying, oh, you've got a great voice. They, you know, like watch the show. They start saying, oh, you're such a wonderful person. I mean, that's American Idol, but I think like this movie has kind of the same. That same message is there, where like you sing the song well, and then like you've redeemed yourself as a person. I mean, they're animals, but you know what I mean. It was particularly blatant with the subplot with the gorilla. There's a gorilla son, and his father doesn't love him because he's not following his father's gang. And we've seen this kind of thing before in other animated movies. You know, like I think How to Train Your Dragon had this. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs had it. You know, like the son who wants to follow his dream, and the father kind of rejects the son because the son's not doing what the father wants. And then the son redeems himself. And there's a certain positive message to that, although it's a little bit overplayed, because I don't think this is a problem we have so much in America. I don't know, maybe I'm just lucky to come from the family I do. But I think like most American parents are quite supportive of their kids following their dream. So it's a little bit redundant, some of this message, but whatever. Like, it's a good message, but the danger you have is like, and you had this in the movie, like as soon as the son performed that song very well, then the father said, oh, my son, I love him so much, and he broke out of prison and ran to hug his son, and it's like his son had earned his father's love. And that's a dangerous message to be sending, because like, I think you shouldn't have to earn your parents' love, even if you do it by going on your own path and becoming a singer. Your parents' love should be unconditional, and if it's just based on your singing talents, then it's worthless, that kind of love. And I think, yeah, I mean, it's forgivable in the movie because they didn't linger on it. It was just kind of, they had so many plots they were juggling here, they kind of rushed past it. But it disturbed me, and that like I feel like there's a whole thing in the movie that I don't really like. On the plus side, the music was all right. I think it's a movie about a singing competition, and I think there's like one original song in the movie, and the rest is just kind of borrowed from your standard pop playlist. And it, you know, the songs are all right, although your enjoyment of kind of any given scene, I think, is going to depend on whether you like the song or not. So I was like, oh, I like that song, and like, oh, I hate that song, it's so cheesy. And you know, it was through that all the way through the movie. I think that's probably going to be true for most people, even though the songs that you like and dislike will vary according to personal taste. I don't think everyone's going to like all those songs, and it's a movie about a song competition, so it's not like the songs are in the background, like the song is the scene. So that's hit and miss. You know, some of them are good, some of them are not good. Side notes. I'm getting into the side notes part of the review now. I was able to use my Japanese knowledge at kind of one point in the film. There's these foxes who only speak Japanese for some reason. I don't know how Japan fits into this anthropomorphic animal world. At one point, the main character is trying to recruit them, and he gets out his dictionary, and he says, like, you smell really bad. and then they get offended and they leave. And in the theater I was in, this was not translated. So like you could tell that he made a mistake with the dictionary, but you couldn't tell what his mistake was. And I was like, aha, I knew that one. 8 years studying Japan finally paid off. I caught the punchline. Although it was, so I was quite pleased with myself. But although it was never explained in the movie why he made that mistake with the dictionary. I mean, like the word for smell bad was kusai. I'm not sure what word that kudasai maybe. I mean, like he pulled out the dictionary. He was intending to say, come and join our dance competition. Instead, he said, you all smell really bad. And then they got mad and left. It was kind of like funny, like miscommunication thing. But like, what happened? Like they never explained what happened with the dictionary. Like, was it like, I mean, how did that even happen? That was never explained. That's a small nitpick. I know it's a kid's movie, but like it was like a little. The punchline didn't make any sense if you thought about it. The other thing I thought as well, like they had these characters. They were speaking Japanese. They were these foxes, and they were like strange. Like they didn't understand that they weren't really in the competition. They were like super excitable and stuff like that. And I think the joke was they don't speak English, therefore they're strange. Which is something that certainly did not originate with this movie, but it's a common theme in the media, isn't it? Anyone who doesn't speak English is strange. I think George Orwell was writing about this all the way back in the 1930s when he was talking about boys' weekly magazines. He said anyone who, is foreign is always kind of an idiot, or they're viewed with suspicion in these kind of boys' magazines characters. Boys' magazines stories. So I thought, yeah, that there's a little bit of that going on with the Japanese-speaking weird foxes. And then the pig with the, was it German, kind of European accent was also a bit strange. Just another kind of, they don't speak English perfectly, so they're cognitively impaired. It's one of those things, you wonder how much the cumulative impact of this is, because it's all over the media. It's not just this movie, but that message that foreigners are strange and weird is like in all the media. And is this harmless? Do we just laugh it off and then laugh it off and it doesn't affect us? Or is a cumulative effect of this part of the xenophobia that's going on right now in Britain and the US with the Brexit and the anti-immigration stuff? I don't know what, I'm probably making too big of a deal of it. It's probably just one of those stupid jokes. But like, I don't know, it's a cheap laugh making fun of people who don't speak English. Anything else about this movie? No, I think that was pretty much it. It was all right for what it was, and it was entertaining. I certainly wouldn't recommend it, but like, there are worse ways you could spend your time if you need to go to the theater to keep the girlfriend happy, or if it's, if you're on a plane and it's on or something like that. Don't see it if there's anything else on. But like, it's entertaining enough. It's harmless. It's stupid, but it's harmless. Okay, that's the review. 2 stars.